Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. One of my friends on the show today, Simon Parkes. Now, listen, some of you out there don't always agree with Simon. Sometimes I don't agree with Simon. The purpose of my show is to put people on that have opinions and knowledge, facts, opinions, and so forth about current events, about politics, about worldviews, and about where we are in all of it and how we factor in all of this in the current state of affairs, not only in America, but around the world. Simon is one of these people that I want on the show because I think the things that he shares are important. You don't have to agree with everything that he says. I would caution you that when you say that other people's credibility is destroyed because you have this person on the show or that person on the show, I would really urge you to reconsider that opinion, because at the end of the day, that's an intellectually immature position to take. It only makes us better when we have various views, when we can learn from and listen to and discern the information that guests share with us on the program. So no one's asking anybody to agree with everything that a guest will say. I've said from the beginning of the show, when this was created, do your research, listen to the interview, make up your own mind. And that's what we do on The Right Side. We hear information. We don't censor information. We make it available and we talk about it. And Simon Parkes, from the beginning of this show, has been a friend. And he's back today, and I'm happy to have him. We're going to continue on a regular basis to have him on the show. He hasn't been back here in a while, but that's all been remedied. It's my fault because I've been so busy. But ladies and gentlemen, today, my friend, Simon Parkes, on The Right Side with Doug Billings. Let's go.
What you are experiencing is truth and knowledge in the place where liberal intellectual immaturity is exposed and determined patriotism is born. You're on The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Today, a good friend, Simon Parkes. Simon was with me from the very beginning of this show when everything just went crazy for us in a good way. And I not only like the gentleman, I have a certain amount of loyalty to him for all of the success that he's enabled the program to have. Clearly a global following that he has. He's been good to me and to the show. And I want to talk with him about these things and about how people will try to derail that relationship, that and much more on this edition of The Right Side with Doug Billings. And without further ado, my friend, Simon Parkes. Simon, how are you?
Hello, Doug. I'm very well, thank you. Fighting the good fight.
Yes, indeed. There's so much that I feel like we need to be caught up on. So, Simon, when I introduced you in the show today, I really wanted to begin by tackling some of the absolute nonsense that even people on our side, the conservative side, one thing that we don't do well is we don't circle our wagons around each other. We tend to, if someone has a different opinion or someone puts forth different information, they'll attack each other on our conservative side, on the good side. And I'm here to tell the world and the audience that, I'll have people like you on this show. You're a friend of mine, and you and I don't necessarily need to agree on every topic that we discuss, but my show is about putting forth various guests with various opinions. And yet some people will just, lash out and say the craziest, most intellectually immature things, as if we would damage each other's reputation if we were to associate with each other.
Well, look, when we think about the word patriot, we have a vision of an individual with a very clear boundaries as to what they believe in, what they don't believe in, and what is right and what isn't right. Now, the difficulty about that is if we're not careful, we can become very tunnel vision. And I would ask people to understand that the white hats are fighting a war. It is a war. And sometimes we have to operate on the fringes of that. And, we shouldn't be surprised that the bad guys listen to a lot of what we say. Sometimes it's the only information they get because white hats are very good at blocking them out now. And so sometimes we'll give them something which will send them running down a dead-end alley. What is a patriot? A patriot is somebody who believes in the United States, believes in the Constitution, believes in the freedom. I think it's beholden on all of us to actually appreciate that our church is as wide as possible.
Absolutely true. The the work that you've been doing and the work with connecting consciousness is growing just astronomically. And you're preparing for a move. At least the last time that we spoke, you were preparing for a move to the United States. I think that along with what you and I have in our friendship, people are interested to hear about where are you in that process.
Okay. Well, come September, Becky and I will be having a security detail. We'll probably have to have them for the rest of our lives. And, you know, she's taken that very well. That'll be something that will take some getting used to. Obviously, we're going to have vets. I prefer Marines, but I won't just, you know, it'll be some group that will be chosen for us. We will be coming to the United States. We're going to be doing January, February, March. We will have a house in Florida. We'll have a house in California. We're going to have a house in Arizona. And we're going to have a house in Texas, so that we can actually be around that area to start with anyway.
Okay.
We've been promised the funding to roll out 50 of the medical centers, one in each state of the US. And you know, the work that Becky and I will be doing will challenge the paradigm, the status quo, and that is why we've been told we will need a security detail, because the work that we're going to be entrusted with in the next 10 years will hopefully bring about a positive change. And of course, anything that moves away from the dark and moves it to the light is a threat to the cabal, to the deep state. And so it's been made very clear to us that we have to have a security detail, and our lives will have to change. You know, if you look behind me, we've got the what we call the closet sort of out. We're ready to move. We're going to have to move to a new location. There's going to be no address given out. We're going to have a post office box, so that we are ready come September to undertake the work, what I call the new financial government, which is based in Florida. So we're working for them. That is why we're going to do the 3 months out there in the US, and we will do our very best. So it's very exciting times for us, and we can't wait.
Excellent. And it is exciting. And that's why I wanted, and I was eager to get you back on the show. I know we've missed a few weeks here together. I just wanted the audience to understand that, look, we have a man and a wife here who are doing God's work. They are, in my opinion, fulfilling the meaning of life, entering into the lives of other people to make differences for the better. I mean, I think at the crux of what we're called to do, that's it, helping others. And clearly, Simon, I think you and your wife, Becky, are doing just that. So we
do our best, Doug. I mean, we were asked to participate in the special birthday video that was given through a third party to President Trump.
Yes.
So he could specifically watch it. And
yes,
then
I saw it
put up on YouTube. So that should give the audience an idea of really how we are perceived and how I am considered. I was very honored to be asked to participate in a video thanking President Trump and wishing him a happy birthday. So, you know, let the audience be in no doubt that, you know, we are on the same page, but we're on different parts of the fort.
Right. Absolutely. You know, I'm reminded of a conference that I'll be attending in November in Florida. It happens to be at Mar-a-Lago. I would love to invite you and Becky if you're able to make that.
We're due for that one. Well, we were supposed to come up in September when I think the conference was originally put forward. So we are due out for a short week or 2 weeks around September, November.
Okay.
So we're coming up for the 3 months, you know, in 2022.
Yep.
But yeah, sure, we'll see how we are,
sure.
And see how we go with it.
Excellent. Well, okay, so let's segue into some, you know, latest news and developments with regards to what you're doing and seeing in this, you know, the election situation. I've had on this show primarily focusing on Arizona. I've said it publicly. I think Arizona is going to flip, and I think there's going to be a domino effect that will impact the United States and the world, for that matter. Anything you can offer on any of that?
Well, there's been a delay because of the 40,000 Braille votes, and they had to go and get an attorney who could read Braille. But I'm not surprised if all of the 40,000 are for Biden. You know that 20% of the votes have suddenly gone missing.
Right.
You know that. So that allows the bad guys to then say, oh, okay, it's a null and void vote. therefore we'll have to take it right out of the count and have another election. However, the good guys are ready because of the servers to show that the Chinese CCP, their servers connected with the servers at Dominion, and that the good guys have got a log which shows outside interference, which means treason. So even if the bad guys turn around and say, look, we concede that there's been a problem in Arizona, what the good guys can say is, well, actually, we've got evidence that there's treason here. So the big question for me is, what will the mainstream media do, Doug? They'll either ignore it totally, or they'll actually cover it. And that's, I think, a big test for them.
I think that if we get positive news from Arizona, they're going to be forced to have to cover things, because in the United States, Georgia would be next. Although Georgia has a rhino in there as their governor, and he needs to be removed through the ballot box. I think Georgia is going to be under extreme pressure to do a forensic audit of their own.
Yeah, but the question for me is, what is the critical tipping point? Is it AZ and Georgia and Pennsylvania, or is just Arizona enough?
Right.
And it'll be very interesting, because what I'm keen on are the good people, but people who believe the narrative that they've been told. This result from Arizona might be enough to swing all of the people who have been on the fence.
Absolutely so. Simon, we're going to pick up right on the other side of this break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. A very short break. We'll be right back with Simon Parkes. Stay with us.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Doug Billings here. You know what I'm hearing a lot of lately? My home was stolen. My home was stolen. And yeah, I think to myself, how in the world can a house, a home, be stolen? You may not know it, but your home title is stored online, and cyber criminals can hack that system. They can sign your name to a quick claim deed claiming that you've sold the home to them, and then they begin to take out loans on your home equity, leaving you with all of the debt. You might not even know you're a victim until you start to receive late payment or eviction notices. That's why I'm recommending Home Title Lock to you, my friends. Home Title Lock. The second someone begins to mess with your title, the second that that's detected, Home Title Lock will shut it down. So let's get you protected right now. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, enter your address to see if you've already become a victim or not, and enter the promo code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com. You'll get 30 free days of protection, ladies and gentlemen. HomeTitleLock.com, promo code RADIO. Do it today. Cheers.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark.
Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close.
Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee.
We'll even ship them to you free.
This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Right Side with Doug Billings, where we engage with determined prayer and determined patriotism every day. That's just what we do. Today's guest, Simon Parkes. Okay, Simon, Joe Biden on the world stage with Vladimir Putin. And I saw some pictures just before you and I started this interview. There is Biden, Putin. They're sitting in chairs, no podium, just sitting down, nice coffee table between them. And Biden has his note cards. He can't speak without his note card. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I put out on my site saying that it would be very interesting because Putin and Biden were scheduled to speak. And I said that the mainstream media would do everything it could to protect Biden, but I still expected Putin to walk all over Biden. And I think those cards are not because Biden is going to forget what he's going to say. It's because the people around him are terrified of Biden going off message. And so I think that those cards are just to tell him, stick to this topic. And, remember that Biden's called Putin a killer. Now, in politics, in international politics, you don't do that to somebody that you want to work with. Russia, like America, has a large number of ICBM missiles, and it is very stupid for one world leader to refer to another world leader as a killer. What President Trump did was he worked with these leaders. He actually engaged with them, because Trump used to say, if there's a problem, I want these guys to be able to pick the phone up and talk to me. So what the heck is Biden doing? And it just shows the naivety of the man, and that Biden is an absolute danger, not just to the United States, Doug, but he's an absolute danger to the world.
Oh my gosh, Simon. I mean, that is so true. What do you make? I mean, is there active? So I've heard, we obviously we hear lots of things. Well, when we hear things, we want to see the evidence of such things. Credible intel, Biden stepping down before the first term is over. Do you get any suspicion or any intelligence reports that this is in fact true? I'm hesitant to give dates because people will say, well, dates will never come true. But
Doug, I think that probably Kamala Harris doesn't want the job anymore. She's seen what a mess. I mean, who would want from that agenda to come in and take America back? You'd only want a good guy, because only a good guy could actually put it right. So probably Kamala Harris is saying to Biden, don't step down. I don't want it, because it's a career killer. I mean, where do you go? You've trashed the United States of America. What job do you get next? So I don't know. I don't think the team around Biden want him to step down, frankly. They might do for some political reasons, but who would walk into that position with the same agenda? Look at the Southern Wall. Look at all these kids that are really going through nastiness because Biden won't do what's right. No, I think that Harris, if she could get out now, she'd have a get out of jail free card. I think she'd do it.
Wow. Okay. So what goes through my mind immediately is that even with her radical agenda, she was the most radical of all. I mean, this is words are important. She was the most radical senator in the United States, and she would turn it down, you think, even to advance her own radical agenda in some form or fashion?
Yeah. Yes, because did any of your audience catch her doing a newscast where she actually told illegals no longer to come to the wall? A complete 180-degree turn. She was telling them beforehand, turn up. We'll give you hot soup and we'll look after you. And now she's saying to them, don't do it. And that tells me that she's realized that they've gone too far, and that everyone's turning against them. So in order to save her own skin, she'd be quite happy to drop the president and then disappear for a bit and try and regenerate herself under another banner. So I think even she realizes that the label they stood under is actually sinking them.
That's quite something really to consider, Simon. And it might just be that her, she obviously has not even visited. She was named the border czar, by Administrator Biden. She hasn't even visited the border, right? I mean, she went down to the general area, but she's not been to the border. She refuses to go.
No, because she doesn't want to see all these people. Can you imagine CNN doing their favorite shots of their favorite person, and then suddenly all these thousands of desperate people trying to break into the United States? What image would that give? It would just, it would destroy her image. So no, she will run away from every serious debate. She will run away from every serious question. She's a hollow person. She's only got the destruction of the United States in her heart. That's all she believes in. And Biden, I think, is nothing more than a puppet. And I'm sure that there are people like her who can put ideas into Biden's head on Monday. So on Tuesday, he comes out with all the nonsense.
Simon, do you have any doubt in your mind that Barack Obama is involved in somehow being a puppet master in all of this?
No, I'm sure he's involved, because he was the last guy before Trump came in. He was the guy who could write bills into law. He could put people into place. And I'm sure he put people to spy on President Trump when Trump's team came in. Now, I think Obama's also far more intelligent than Biden. Obama is a dangerous man. And it's very sad because I remember his first term and I remember him being elected. And there was so much hope, Doug. Here's a black man, so much hope. And he was one of the worst presidents the United States has ever had. And thank goodness for President Trump, because we could compare the two. So no, I'm sure Obama's quite happy pulling strings from the back room.
The racial divide in not only the United States, but the world dramatically increased under the Obama watch, in my opinion. And we saw it throughout the world.
He was moving monies around, supporting one group, taking it away from another group. You know, we saw patriotic church groups not getting the funding, and we saw these very strange leftist, almost verging on communist organizations suddenly getting lots of handouts and money, designed to destabilize the central part of the United States. You know, America isn't about California and New York. That's not, it's about every other bit in between.
Right.
And if you start taking monies away from families, from hardworking people, if you start giving it to people who frankly don't want to work, or people who've never worked, or people who want to cause a trouble, that's the best way to destroy a country. And so I do hold some of these people totally responsible for the state that America's in now.
It all began with them, the toppling of statues, the whole resist movement. America is fundamentally flawed and racist, which is not true. And it all began and just simply got worse after the Obama administration.
Well, I think the seeds for defunding the police actually can go back to a number of governors under the Obama regime. I think that's where those seeds were sown.
What does, tell me this, from what does the world think? What does Britain think? What does Europe think when they look at what the left has done in these cities that are run and managed by members of us, as I call them, the Communist Socialist Party? When you see a summer of burning, toppling statues, trying to erase our history, critical race theory, what do Europeans think and see based on their own history?
I think what I can't speak for the rest of the world, but certainly in my own country, people are just very sad. You must remember, Doug, that there's a ton of people, your family in America, friends, families, sisters, brothers. You know, we're so close as a country. And I think from the people I've spoken to anyway, people are just desperately sad. They're saying, these are my friends and my family. And, you know, do seeing downtown being torched, or a business that's gone out or smashed windows. And you're thinking, well, you know, nobody deserves that. You know, these people, when they voted for Biden, and, you know, somebody must have voted for him, Doug, they didn't vote for that. You know, we can't say Democrats are bad people. We can't do that. Democrats voted for what they thought was a Democrat president, but what they got was a left-leaning madman. That's what I think Biden is, a left-leaning madman. And they didn't vote for that. They voted for a typical Democrat president. And what they actually got was a crazy man who, you know, he's out to just cause as much trouble as he possibly can. And that's what we've got in America.
I couldn't agree more, Simon. I could not agree more. There are decent people on the streets of America, John and Jane Doe, who still consider themselves Democrats, who are, at the end of the day, good people. Yeah. And they're realizing that, wait a minute, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I voted for.
Well, it was never advertised. When the election campaign was on, nobody stood up from the Democratic side and said, if you put us in, we will do this or we will do that. And then they didn't dare do that, Doug, because if they had, Biden would never have got elected. Right. So basically, they lied to the American people. They lied. And now the truth is coming out, and American people are realizing what the heck they've got in their backyard. And that's why, you know, I and many others are saying, you know, you've got to mobilize. You've got to make sure that never again do these corrupt politicians get back in. Because if you look at some of these governors, they just get the ticket and they're voted in again and again and again. Right. And I'd love to see the day when, you know, whole neighborhoods just turn up to these caucuses, to these hustings, and they just say, we don't want you. Right. And they stop it dead at the beginning.
Absolutely. Simon, we're going to pick up with this very topic and this thread of conversation just after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us, a short break, and we'll be right back with Simon Parkes.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hey, everybody. Do you forget stuff? Would you like to remember the names and numbers of your friends without having to look at your phone contact list? What if you're at a cocktail party and some commie socialist starts spewing forth data? Would you like to remember all of the counter data and the truth to put that person in their place and to set the record straight? Well, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Greg, who I've known for over 30 years and who I trust. He has a program called the Total Recall System. It will help you remember everything that's important to you. Truly, if that's amazing, it is. And it's simple. Go to memorypowernow.com. This is all available to you as an instant download. Memorypowernow.com. Take the Total Recall System. And if you enter my name in the promo code, you'll get 50% off. 50% off. You can remember that one, I'm sure. Go to memorypower.com and look it up. Get it. Buy it. Get 50% off if you use my name, memorypowernow.com. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to The Right Side with Doug Billings, where I, with great enthusiasm, continually point out the intellectual immaturity of liberals everywhere. And today, with the help of Simon Parkes, we're doing just that. Simon, okay, talking about the elected class in America, juxtaposed against what the Democratic Party used to be. I've said on the show here that, in my view, the Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy and even the Democratic Party of Bill Clinton doesn't exist anymore in the elected class. In the elected class, we have a conglomeration of communism and socialism, aka the Communist Socialist Party, as I've called them, and they're ripping the country apart. And the frustrating thing is, Simon, this elected class with that mindset and with those philosophies represents such a vast minority of political thought in this country and the world, for that matter.
What it is they punch above their weight. And the reason they punch above their weight is because the CCP, through back doors, have been funding them. They've been funding universities. They've been funding anyone who has an opinion. And over the last 20 years, they've sneaked up and they've got this position, and everyone's looking around thinking, well, where did you come from? And the reality was that these people planned this over 20 years ago. And the sad thing is Americans are very decent, nice people, and they never looked for it. They never expected to be stabbed in the back by the people that they trusted. But that's what's happened, Doug. Some of the people that were put in these positions and were trusted have turned against the American people. And now it's very obvious who is a communist, who is a socialist, and where their money's coming from. And we can see it in some of these governors.
What does, in England, is China able to come into England and buy land?
It used to be able to do. Laws have been passed to stop it now.
They're currently buying up land in the United States all over the place.
Well, I think what's happening is that there's certain states that, are not seeing it as a threat. Certainly, I would expect the New York governor to sell his own home to them if he felt that way. But you see, the difficulty is that if that's the only game in town, and someone wants to sell land, then they'll sell it. They'd rather, I'm sure, sell it to an American. But if only the communists have got the money, because America's been ravaged by this COVID and by the lockdown that the communists have put on there, and the Chinese have got a war chest. That's what I'm saying. 20 years ago, they started to build a war chest to take over America. Now, that might sound like crazy. It's not, because the Chinese said, who's our main competitor? And it's the US. So if China can knock the US out, it can sell its products everywhere and no one would buy American products. All China's trying to do is dominate. And so if it buys land, it can then start growing food in the United States and selling it back to Americans at an inflated price.
Yep. Part of what I think that the communist socialist elected class thrive upon and use as one of their weapons is chaos. I think that they purposefully try to instill chaos in any situation. If there's not an organic, chaos, if something, if there's not a COVID crisis, they'll create a COVID crisis. And I think that that's part of their game plan, to divert attention away from the truth and to help their cause gain access to these elected positions.
Well, in Britain, many years ago, used to own Hong Kong. And quite rightly, in my opinion, Hong Kong was given independence, but it was enshrined in law that Hong Kong would remain independent. And we saw a couple of years ago China come in and ride roughshod over that and take over. Now, what did the communists do? They did do what they do best, was they paid agents to go into the university, cause a riot, and then the police went in, and it was all sold through mainstream media as the students were rioting and the students were unlawful. The reality was that the Communist Party were, causing this for their own ends, and that's why they do the chaos. So what they'll do is they'll create something in one corner of the room, all eyes are on that, and then they'll go in with the money and they'll buy something or they'll do something, and then when people realize it, it's too late. And if only people had understood the run up to the election last November, if people had only realized what Biden was about, nobody would have voted for him. And unfortunately, people only realized too late.
There is speculation in the United States, and I'm sure the world, that China and one of our good friends and person that we really like a lot, Bill Gates, and I'm joking, Bill Gates is involved in with China and other people, Soros and others, in creating the next COVID. And the speculation is that it's either going to be an information technology crisis or a food crisis. What have you heard about either of those potentialities?
Food crisis. That's what I've heard, simply because China doesn't care if half its population starve. It's not bothered about its own people. And it would rather reduce its help to its own people and cause problems elsewhere. So when you have a heartless government, and I think that the CCP, the Communist Party of China, is a heartless government, then they will do things that a democracy, a decent humanitarian person would never dream of. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try and hike up prices in America, cut off the tap for food coming in, create issues, stop the ships coming in, and just try and make prices go up 3, 4, 5 times, and then try and blackmail. Of course, Biden's so weak, he'll just do whatever they tell him and say to Biden, look, unless you give us this, unless you give us that, we won't put any more food in. So I think that Biden is a danger because he's so weak, and he'll just give in. That's my worry.
And so, the concern then is doubly so for the purchase of vast amounts of farmland by China in the United States to just let the land go to waste.
Absolutely, because you remember when Trump was the president, he did all the things to help the farmers.
Yes.
He really did try and renegotiate the deal, which Obama had done, which was really bad for the farmers, but very good for China. So of course that stung the Chinese. The Chinese angry with Trump. So what they want to do now is, they know they've got a weak man in the White House. So what they want to do is get back at the farmers, get back at them. So how's the best way for them to get back at them? Is to put pressure on Biden. Biden is so un-American that he will just do what the Chinese Communist Party tell him to do. And that means that the farmers are the ones that are going to suffer again.
In the United States, about a month or so ago, there was a law passed that they call it, it was part of our COVID relief package, and that some of the extras within the bill stated that minority farmers in America, non-white farmers in America, would receive up to 120% of debt relief. So not only is the government going to pay you back for 100% of what you spent or had to endure during a crisis, we're going to give you another 20% kiss for everything else over and above. But white farmers get nothing. And my contention is in two parts about this. One is that they're trying, the communist socialist elected class, trying to, and definite, not just trying, but definitely using discrimination to solve discrimination. And then two, code and a veil for reparations. They're giving minorities and blacks reparations.
What made America wonderful was that you were American first, black second, white second, yellow second, but you were an American. You were American first. And that was the glue, actually, that held together one of the greatest, or the greatest country on the planet, that could draw all of these people from all over the world who had an entrepreneurial spirit, who were prepared to work. And it doesn't matter who they were, what they were, if they were prepared to accept America, then there was a place for them. So how do you destroy that? Well, you destroy it by turning one American against another. And that's the oldest trick in the book. So what you do is you give one group special money, and you say, you're better than them. And the other people say, well, wait a minute, you can't treat us like this. And you divide it. So come Christmas, whereas the black family and the white family would always meet up, now they're not going to meet up. And that's exactly what the communists want. And my warning to everyone is, don't go down that trap. Don't be divided. It's absolutely crucial, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're black or white, you actually recognize yourselves as American first, and to hell with Biden, and look after yourselves, your community, support yourselves, and don't be trapped by this trickery, because all it is a trick.
Excellently put and well met. Ladies and gentlemen, very few people can put it just like he does, but Simon Parkes puts it plainly, simply, powerfully. And we are going to be right back with Simon after this break. Please stay with us. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of The Right Side with Doug Billings. I want to remind you again about my friend, the Commander's Artist. Check out this artwork, ladies and gentlemen. And look behind me. Look at that beauty right back there. Me on the white stallion, the Commander's Artist. That is huge. And if you have a patriotic room at home or at your office, or if you want to create one, you're going to want to get some of this art. Go to thecommandersartist.com, thecommandersartist.com, and drop in my name, Doug, when you check out for the promo code Doug, and you'll get a little discount there from the Commander's Artist. He is the commissioned artist of General Michael Flynn, and he's a friend of this program, thecommandersartist.com. Go get you some patriotic art today. Cheers.
We're the ladies of Another View, bringing you a fresh view on local issues. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that the most condescending, rude email you've ever received?
Well, welcome to
National
the
news.
third term of a certain president. I really believe that.
And different perspectives you won't get on the mainstream media. Watch us weekday afternoons at 4:30 Central Time on Beck News and at beck.news.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Doug Billings, where I, every day, ladies and gentlemen, fulfill the meaning of life by entering into your life to make differences for the better. Today, our guest, my friend, Simon Parkes. Simon, just before the break, we were talking about, the dichotomy between the Republican side in America and the communist socialist side, and the division that the communist socialists will try to sow within our society. We see it every day in examples such as this. They won't refer to us, to your point, as Americans. It's always African American, Irish American, Native American, Asian American, whatever. We're never just simply Americans. And to your point and to your credit, I cheers to you for the wise words and the powerful passion. To hell with Biden, as you say. They want division. They want the world to be divided, not just America.
Well, that's the point. You see, if you can divide America, every other country will fall. That is why the battle is in the United States. That's what's going on, because the bad guys recognized a very long time ago that the keystone, the stone that holds up the bridge, is America. And why would you chip around at the edges? You go for the number one. So the communists went for the number one, which is America. That is why it mustn't fall. That is why Americans must stay together, because if you don't, then we're all finished, all of us.
Another thing that's related to this that's highly frustrating for me and the audience is that Biden and his family are obviously compromised with regards to China and Russia and so forth. Hunter Biden, for example, he simply cannot govern. And I think you're right. He is a madman.
Well, I think you'd have to be mad to stand on the agenda that he stood on. Who in their right mind would, in any country, let alone America, would actually say, well, we're going to do this policy, and this policy, which actually will destroy America, but we'll do it anyway. So I'm being gracious to him by saying he's mad. I think it would be more serious if it was treason, more serious if he was doing it deliberately to support China. I can't believe that. I just think he's crazy. I just think he's mad. But the Chinese are clever. they've been around a very long time, and they play a mean game. And you can't just deal with these people easily. You have to shape up and you have to play hardball, because the Chinese are not stupid. They're very, very clever. And that's been demonstrated. They've got Biden round their finger. I mean, they just make that man just dance any dance. And it's very, very sad for the old country, that's Great Britain,
yes,
to see what's going on, because we want it the other way around. I've always thought that it should be the other way around. And when you had President Trump, people respected him. They respected America. They wouldn't do the things they're doing now.
Right.
President Trump stood up and said something, people would nod and listen and take notes.
Right.
Now they don't even look at Biden.
Right.
It's just a complete joke.
Yep.
Now that would be fine if it was a little Sunday school. It's not. This is the most powerful country on the planet. And, it's not good, Doug.
Simon, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to get messages from around the world, and I hear exactly what you're saying. People from almost every country have said that the President Trump mantra of America first is the template for which they want their leaders to adopt. They want their countries, their leaders, to put their country first. This is why people around the planet loved Trump, but it was only a message that was squelched by the media.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? If you lived in Finland or you lived in Russia, well, mind you, Putin is pretty good. He fights for his people much more than Biden does. But whatever country you're in, you surely want the man or woman that you elected or is your leader to fight for your interests. You don't want them doing deals that, like Obama was doing deals that took all your factories away from the Rust Belt, destroyed them because it made somebody nice and fat in China. And that's betrayal. It's betrayal of your own people. And thank goodness that so many people across the world, not just America, are waking up to the betrayal that's been done to them by what I call career politicians with 10, 15, 20, 30 years in office. And of course they're corrupt. That's the only job they do. Absolutely.
Simon, let me get your take on how the elected class in America and around the world, not just in America, but the elected class will try to control the narrative of society by mixing lies with bits of the truth. And I'll give you an example. So, as you know, in the United States, currently at our Texas border, there's chaos, there's a mess, there's humanitarian crises. It's terrible. And when we try to tell the other side that, look, we need a sense of order here, we need vetting. We are clearly a nation that welcomes people, but we need to have a process by which and they will say, no, we are a nation built by immigrants and we will let them come in freely and unfettered. This is an example of how they mix lies with the truth. It's true that we are a nation of immigrants. However, when they say that immigrants built America, that's a lie. You know what? Who built America were legal citizens built America.
Look, if we look at the Irish didn't come in and sneak off. The Irish came in. They all had their paperwork. They all were ready. They had jobs lined up. They had a community, and they got jobs, and they went and they paid their taxes, and they did a damn good job. And every other. But what's happening is people are coming in and they're saying, I don't want to work. I can be hidden. I can be hidden in a big city, and I can work illegally. And the governor will make sure that the police don't arrest me. Now, once that message gets out, then you are absolutely swamped by a whole load of people who have no loyalty to America. Now, here's the point, because anyone who comes to America should understand the history of America, should be able to recite some of the important documents, should at least have a knowledge. But these illegals, they don't know anything about America. Their heart isn't there. If there was a war tomorrow, would they volunteer and fight for America? Absolutely not. They'd be right back over the wall. So this is the difference between legal arrival and illegal arrival.
Absolutely so. And I think that what we have also there with all of these people flowing into our country is the communist socialists look at them and they see new members of their electoral base.
Yes. Well, the Democrats had always thought that the Hispanic Americans would be their savior. But what happened? President Trump
got them all. Yep.
Huge number of votes. And so this whole plan that the Democrats had of slowly taking one county after another county by moving these people in. So that when that failed, that's when they moved to open cities, because they realized the only way they could try and overturn that was just literally flood counties with people. And there's not enough schools. There's not enough hospitals. How can the cops maintain law and order when you've got drug gangs fighting and killing each other? But that's what the Chinese Communist Party want, because if your eye's off the ball and you're worried about that, then they can pull a big deal somewhere else and it's too late. So that's what the Chinese are clever. They've got Biden round their finger, Doug. They can make him do what they want.
Yeah, and it's, again, they're seeds of chaos, which is what they want. They want to. Chaos is king, and it keeps us all diverted from the truth. I think that there's many of us who think that when we see these people coming in illegally and then the promise of free stuff, and you, Simon, know a thing or two about how to gain and achieve human dignity in life. And clearly, human dignity is not achieved by giving people things for free and not having them work and earn what they get. That's the pathway to human dignity.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, if people come to a country, they bring a skill with them. Whatever that skill is, there'll be a market for it in the US. And if they're prepared to do an honest day's work for an honest day's wage, then that's what America is about. But if you say to somebody, we're going to pay you to cause disruption, or we're going to pay you to cause a riot in a university or do what have you, and you don't have to work, we'll just give you the money, then it's like an ant's nest. All the ants are working hard. And then one ant sits down and folds its hands and says, I'm not going to do any work today. And all the other ants look and say, well, why are we working? And before you know it, the whole system is collapsed. So again, it's a very clever attempt to destroy America from the inside. So instead of looking for enemies from the outside, your enemies are on the inside being imported by traitors. That's what's happened, Doug.
Simon, I can't thank you enough for your friendship and for coming on the show again. We've got to get back in our habit of doing this on a regular basis. I can't wait for your success in America. That's going to be coming shortly, I'm sure.
Well, I've got to get used to having people, in dark glasses and suits standing sort of 6 foot behind me. I mean, that is what's going to happen. And it's just because of the work that Becky and I are going to do. We just got to live with it, but it will take some getting used to.
Well, practice driving on the right side of the road, my friend. And
I've had people already writing in saying they're going to give me a free lesson how to do it.
Very good. Good.
Doug, good. Lots of love to you. God bless to everyone. And I would just say, don't let anyone give up. Don't give in. Keep fighting. It will come right in the end. I do believe that.
God bless you, Simon. All my best to Becky as well. Cheers, my friend.
Lots of love. Take care.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back after this short break with a few closing thoughts after the visit here with my friend Simon Parkes. Cheers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of The Right Side with Doug Billings. Please make sure that you head over to MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com. Can't imagine that I'm saying those words on my program, but I am. Check them out, MyPillow.com. If you feel like you want to use the phone to place your order, that's okay. 1-800-873-0413. In either case, whether it's MyPillow.com or the phone number, make sure that you use the promo code BECK. That's BEK for that great MyPillow product at a great price. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, MyPillow.com, 1-800-873-0413. Thank you very much indeed for watching us here on The Right Side with Doug Billings. Cheers.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Right Side with Doug Billings. I appreciate you more than you know. I truly do. I'm blessed and honored because of you. Simon Parkes. Simon Parkes is a friend of mine, and I make no apologies for that. He's a good man with a good soul and a kind heart, and I like the guy. I know some of you out there don't, and some of you out there perhaps don't like me. This show is a platform where I will put people on with various views, and I leave it up to you good people to make up your minds about the information that they present. Simon and I always have pleasant conversations, and I think informative ones as well. So enough of that. I just appreciate him. I appreciate what he's doing in the world, and I think that he brings people together, and I think that he's a godly man. And like I said, he's a friend of mine. He's going to be coming to America in September to continue his connecting consciousness business, and his therapies and his calling and his passion with the world will continue. So be sure that you look him up and follow him and lend a hand of support if you can. And also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the weekend of Independence Day is my Determined Patriotism Conference in Branson, Missouri. Go to my website, dougbillings.us. And when you land there, you'll see a pop-up window. Click on that window, and it'll take you to the information page. This is a very affordable event. There are no such things as VIPs because everybody's a VIP at my event. I'm not going to segregate the audience based on ticket prices. For one affordable price, your family can come down and enjoy the conference. Such speakers as Lynn Wood, Patrick Byrne, Doug McGurk, Ann Vandersteel, Mel Kay, Darlene Swaffer, Burt Lynch, the Commander's Artist will be there, and many, many more. Check it out, dougbillings.us. Click on that pop-up window that appears when you land on the website. That will take you to the event section, and I look forward to seeing you July 1st through the 4th in Branson, Missouri. We're going to have a blast. Not only will we have a chance to engage in political motivation, passionate speeches, good information, I believe that we're going to have great times out in the evening as well. Theater, we'll have concerts together, we'll have dinner together, and it's just going to be an all-around good patriotic weekend on Independence Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Don't forget to take inventory of those blessings on your back. There are many of them. You have a pack of blessings on your back, and I encourage you all to take inventory of them often. Life is wonderful. It always is, and it always will be. No matter what adversity or challenges we're facing, life is wonderful. It was intended that way by God, and I hope that you believe that. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you again, God willing, right here on The Right Side with Doug Billings. Cheers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree Dental Card, you save $525. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree Dental Card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
I'm Rick Becker from No Apologies. Welcome to your after-hours oasis of sanity.
How can these people not see that they're just clowns?
We help simplify and educate you on things going on in the legislature and around the country.
Asking the hard-hitting questions.
But also having Lee Stack and Sid and Marty Croft stuff, and we've talked about that sometimes. It's bad.
Watch us weeknights at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money. So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For a limited time, you get premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, and that's the lowest price in history.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.